I always wanted to be a musician deep down, I think. Or I was very good as an athlete. So it was either athlete or music. My parents just bent over backwards with me and the music. My father was a construction worker, and he really didn't want to hear that noise. My father was a black man, but he didn't even know how to pat his foot to music. My stepfather, Clinton Lee, you know. It was nothing but hard work. He came from a family, his parents died, and he raised 11 brothers and sisters. So he had to work to do that, you know. And I opened my first bank account picking up Coca-Cola bottles on a job site that he was working on, you know. I had to pick up these bottles to start a bank account. At that time, you could start a bank account with $1, and the Coke bottles were 2 cents a piece. So I guess I got 50 bottles, I opened up a bank account. Make a long story short, I couldn't ask for a better set of parents. They were strict and hard, but I saw a long time ago that what they were doing was trying to prepare me to be a man in this world that didn't have to go around stealing or robbing or killing people, that I could make an honest living. My mother, Agnes Lee, bought me everything in the world of anything that I wanted to do to be a success in life. God rest her soul. She bought me an accordion first. There was a guy that used to come by with a pony on our street, and he was actually advertising accordion lessons for kids to take accordion lessons. My mother bought me an accordion. I took accordion lessons from there. She bought me an organ. I played the organ and the foot pedals and everything. And then I was going to a high school assembly, and we'd see such people as Billy Preston went to the same high school I went to, Dorsey High School. And the guy in the Fifth Dimension, Townsend, he also went to, he was the janitor at Dorsey High School. Those guys played Johnny B. Good and with electric guitars and stuff, and it just knocked my socks right off, you know? So I said, wow, man, if I add an organ to their ensemble, maybe we can do something together here. So we formed a band in high school. Johnny Echols, myself, Alan Talbot, Alan Goldstein. And so it was from that we played we got the group together, we played in an assembly. We played a song called Last Night by the Marquis. I don't know if Billy Preston went on that first on that gig or if he even played on that gig, but when we played that song Last Night, the audience from the crowd and the stomping and carrying on, I think I was playing the right notes. It just moved me so much until it was better than breaking a high school record. It was better than winning first place in the 50-yard dash in junior high school. It was better than anything I never felt anything like that before. And I love to see people having a good time. And these kids were definitely having a good time. But my problem was I had a band, but I didn't have a manager. I didn't exactly, like people run away from home when they're 17 or 18, 16, 17, 18. I didn't run away from home. I drove away from home, you know. My father bought me a Corvair Spider when I was 16. And I was ditching classes. I was ditching classes and walking to Capitol Records to get a deal. I walked from Dorsey High School, Farmdale, and Exposition to Hollywood and Vine. The Capitol building is right up the street from there. I would go and look at the wall with the people that worked there, and I picked out names from the wall and went up without an invitation or anything and knocked on the doors of these people. I knocked on the doors. You keep knocking, you say, and they say, and someone's going to eventually let you in. Well, I saw these names on the wall, and I picked Adam Ross and Jack Levy. At the time, they had a group called the Rivingtons, and they had a hit song out in '64, I think it was, called Papa Ooh Mau Mau, you know? I spoke with them, and they decided to take a listen to my band. They took a listen to my band. But for some reason, I didn't trust these guys. You know, I didn't give them my best material. I gave them my second best material because I was totally, I was naive, but I was totally unaware of the business, the music business and things. My parents had to sign for me when I was, 16 or something like that. I was underage. And from there, we did our first a recording. And I was in seventh heaven. I mean, I used to look at 78 records when I was a young boy, and people like Nat King Cole would be on Capitol Records. At that time, it was a purple label, and the Capitol building was silver or gray. And wow, my dream came true when I signed with Adam Ross and Jack Levy. The first record I made on Capitol Records was not the best of my ability because I didn't know the business. My parents sure didn't know the business. I didn't have an attorney, so I didn't give the people the best I had. I gave them the second best of the things that I had. But I noticed something after we recorded the record. Everything was fine, but the music. I didn't like the music, but there was my name on Capitol Records, you know, and that turned me on more than the music did. But I sort of saw what I could do. So I drifted from there. The record on the Ninth Wave and Rumpelstiltskins didn't exactly reach the charts, you know what I'm saying? I never got paid a penny for that, as a matter of fact. My first band were like brothers. We were like brothers. We all had a similar behavior pattern, to say the least. And we just kicked it off, man. We were as loose as a goose. All of the band members were accomplished musicians. Songs would come to me, and I'd relay it to them. And we played in clubs before I had the name Love. We played in clubs. We started off playing on Melrose in Hollywood. We're making like $15 a night for the whole band, you know. A friend of mine had a massage parlor, and he also had a little club, a gay bar, or whatever. His name was Alan Franklin. And I asked him one day if we could play at that club. And we played, and the first week, dribbles and drabs of people would come in. Johnny Echoes, Don Conca, John Fleckenstein, who later became John Fleck, and myself. Played at a place called the Brave New World. And we were packing them in, and within like 2 weeks, we had like a full house of people. And I used to see this little redhead kid that was hanging around with the Birds all the time, you know. His name was Brian McLean. So they had a hit record at the time called Mr. Tambourine Man. And they were playing at a place on Sunset called Ciro's, right? Well, it came time for them to go on a European tour. And they had all these people on the strip that would come and pack Ciro's, you know, like that was the spot in the 60s. Ciro's was like the biggest club on the Sunset Strip. And I had all these people, but when they left, the people would hang around outside of that club, Ciro's, but there wasn't a band playing. So I talked to the owner of the club about letting my band play, because we were like packing them in at the Brave New World. We had people, first we started out like 10, 15 people would come and see us play. Then maybe 20 to 30 people would come and see us play. Within 3 weeks, we had people, a queue around the block. We had so many people coming in, we'd have to take intermissions, you know? People like Sal Mineo, someone said the Yardbirds, someone said the Rolling Stones, all the different people would come and see us play. I don't remember seeing the Rolling Stones though, but entertainer after entertainer. would come and see us play. And I thought that we were really going to be, really had a chance at being a success with this music. I used to dance around like these tables. I used to jump from table to table playing my guitar, playing my harmonica. We were just loose, man. I used to wear one moccasin. A guy gave me I thought he was going to give me a set of moccasins. James Scott. I thought he was going to give me a set of moccasins. He gave me one moccasin, and it clicked in my head. Wow, you don't have anybody to promote your idea here. I wore one moccasin for over a year. By the way, we headlined over the Grateful Dead, Big Brother and the Holding Company, Moby Grape. Man, when we started out, we moved the hippie movement to San Francisco. That's right, I started it. And I don't know, the feeling that I had in the 60s towards the people as a whole people were just like, I see people like on The Simpsons or whatever satire the name love, but if you live the life that I did, if I didn't have it and you had it, you gave it to me. If I had it and you didn't have it, I gave it to you. What is that called? Sharing? I never had such a wonderful experience as I had in 1965, 1966, and so on. It was really quite a trip, but I was determined. In my walk from Dorsey High School to Capitol Records, I was determined to be an entertainer and a good one, a star, you know what I mean? That was my thing.